What's up, gang? In this video, we're going to give you 3 things you can do to create stretch in your anchor step. My name is Brian B.
I'm Miss Megan.
And so we're going to cover 3 different concepts, but let's first define what is an anchor step. What is an anchor step, Miss Megan? I put you on the spot.
The stretch away from your partner.
The stretch away from your partner. So even though it's called anchor step, it is not actually a step. So it's more of a concept, and a concept is a general idea. And I'm going to tell you a story of years ago when I was competing in West Coast Swing and in American Rhythm, and I had a lesson with Mario Rabau and with my rhythm coaches, Joanna and Jose de Camps, and it was the same lesson. And the lesson was this: we're actually talking cha-cha, and they were talking about my center. We'll go to this foot. My center moving towards my partner, and my partner's center moving away, and my center moving away, and my partner's center moving forward. And then I had a lesson with the great Mario Rabau, and he was talking about my center moving away, and then my center moving forward towards my partner, right? So it's the concept of the stretch away at the end. And we said we're gonna give you 3 things to create stretch in your anchor, and quickly defined, we're gonna talk about the ability to roll through our feet to create that stretch. So regardless of the hand, the ability to roll through our feet. We're going to give you a drill for each one of these. Number 2 is the ability within my own arm, and I could do this with Miss Megan. Let's just assume that she is the edge of my counter or a doorknob at this point. My ability to move away from that and utilizing my arm, that's number 2, and Miss Megan can practice the same thing. And we're going to drill you through these. The ability to keep that tension in the arm and not to pull your partner. And then the third one is going to be finding the step before the anchor and a concept that you can use to identify that to build stretch off of. But let's first talk about rolling through our feet. So we're going to take our free foot, the one that we're going to anchor with, as we would typically triple step, right? This is my anchor step, and you've been taught by your beginner instructors to take this foot and keep it back, because the idea is that I want my weight moving away from my partner. Now, when we begin as beginners, we tend to dance blocky, right? Meaning, my coach once said to me early in my dance career that I dance like I have blocks on the bottom of my feet. And beginner class tends to look like this. Let's plot along, Miss Megan. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. But as we get better, we get introduced to the concept of rolling through our feet. And that's the ability to roll from heel to toe, or in some cases from toe to heel, or in some cases from heel to toe. And that allows us to move across our feet more efficiently, right? So in our anchor step, we're both rolling through the toe to the ball of our foot down into my heel. And that develops an ability for my center, my body mass, to move across my foot, right? And to demonstrate this, we're gonna go to the wall in the corner and show you my favorite drill to practice this concept on your own. All right, gang, to practice this on your own, you just need a wall. And I know that kind of looks weird because there's a mirror in the corner, but you just need a wall to practice. And I'm going to do the leaders part. Followers are just going to be the opposite footwork, but leaders are going to be right foot back, followers will be left foot back. And I want you to stand, 6-8 inches from the wall, right? And I could be on that right foot and have all this space between me and the wall. But what I want you to do is, as you do your triple step, I want you to be able to roll your weight back to be able to find that wall, right? And you can see I've filled out the space. I could be on that foot here with this much space between me and the wall, or as I roll back, I could be to the point where my back is to the wall. And this is great for a couple reasons. Number 1, it shows you how much room there is to stretch back. Number 2, it will tell you, this wall will give you feedback if you're going too much hips first or if you're going too much back first. And depending upon how much back you have, your hips will probably hit, if your bum sticks out a little bit, your hips will probably hit ever so slightly before your shoulders. But you don't want to be in this posture, and you don't want to be in this posture. But what I want you to do, and I'm going to do the follower's footwork now, same thing, and you'll find how much you can stretch. So you might, if you're too far away from the wall, you might try to stretch, and you'll go, oh, that's too far, right? So just back up just a little bit. Roll through the feet, and you'll find a position that you could actually be back and connected away. That's just at the end, and still be on your foot to move out. So practice rolling your feet. Even you could practice this, filling out the space and anchor. We'll do this in the 3rd step. If you get stopped and there's a lot more room, you might even, to a small degree, back up that anchor to fill out the space. So practice that step number 1. We'll come back with Miss Megan. We'll give you steps number 2 and 3, to add elasticity to your ankle. All right, welcome, Miss Megan. So, in the first step, we talked about how to develop that elasticity through your feet and your body, and to develop the ability for your body to move back, or your center mass to move back. Second thing, Miss Megan, is
to allow your arm to also relax a little bit.
so if we're in this position, right, and we keep this rigid, what's going to happen? We're going to run out of space, and we're going to end up being harsh. So a skill that we need to develop is the ability, and I'm going to stand still and just be a wall. This could be a doorknob or some fixed thing, and I've even got a cool something that will help this. But your ability to stretch the arm away while still maintaining some connection. So whether I was a human or an inanimate object, Megan can allow that stretch to happen in her arm. So we have to cultivate that ability to be connected away as we move our bodies away, right? So we're both moving that away. A good rule of thumb is to leave this in between, and we're going to talk about setting that point. Some people call it the post, but there's a cool thing we found online. If we toss this in, one hop, it's all good. So this is called the dance swing, and they sent this to me, and we've been playing with it in the studio. You can hook this around something. In this case, Miss Megan's going to hold that side, and you can use this. I'll drop the link in the website. We're not making any money off of it, but it's just kind of cool because now I can practice stretching with something that has some tension to it, right? So this is called the dance swing. They sell this in a couple of different things. There's a big bag that gets attached to it. I just hook it around the doorknob in the bathroom of the studio, and I can play with it. We haven't come up with too many things with it, but that's a neat, cool thing that you can do. So step number 1 is being able to stretch through your feet. Step number 2 is going to be the ability to stretch through this. Number 3 is going to be the position at which this happens. So if I think about West Coast swing in 2-beat increments, and I just use a left side pass, right? We've already established the stretch away, right? We dance our 1, 2. We still have some connection. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's going to be on count 4. I call this the step before the anchor, right? Before my 5 and 6. I need to start to pay attention to that moment because that's the point where the hand's going to stay still and we're going to stretch away. Or in an advanced way, we're going to create our styling away from that and leave that still. So here's a good thing to think about. Whatever your connection is at the end of your anchor, whatever this feels like to you, we know that some people are very light connected, some people are very heavy connected, but whatever that connection is for you and your partner, let's call that a 10 for you and that partner. So this is my 10, whatever my 10 is. The step before the anchor is going to be count 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. On count 4, I want that feeling. If a 10 is my maximum, I want that feeling to be about a 5, about half of that. So I have some awareness of that connection, which tells my partner, pattern is over, start to stretch away. So if we do that even with an inside turn, we're going to stop on count 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have some feeling of connection, maybe half of what's normal, and then we build it to a 10 for us. So what that allows us to do as both partners, and I'm going to put a little bit more of this on the leaders, we want to be in a position like we did with the wall. We want to position ourselves to be able to create that stretch. We don't want to be too far away, and we don't want to be too close. I would say being too close is better than being too far away. So here's what I mean. If we end up too far away, I do this inside turn, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm too far away, you can see that all of a sudden we're going to have trouble creating stretch. So I need to monitor the step before the anchor. And that's why I put this on the leaders. We're not doing as many of the turns. So leaders, I want to make sure that you're close enough on count 4. So as we do this, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to make sure I choose a spot on 4 that I feel comfortable being able to be slightly connected and leave myself some room to stretch away. So to recap, 3 things we can do to create stretch in our anchor. Anchor is more of a concept of being connected away at the end of the pattern. Number 1, we can just roll through our feet, and you can practice that triple step and rolling through. Use the wall. Number 2, just find an object or a partner that you can practice stretching away, rolling through your feet. From a more advanced perspective, you can start to create different anchor variations and stretch away. But to be able to do that, we need to monitor where we are in count 4, making sure that we have some connection on that 4. 4, this stays in place, tells my partner we're done with the pattern, and allows us some of the creativity to start to stretch our anchors. All right, so if you want to geek out on your anchor step, we have a whole playlist with all the videos we've done about the anchor step. So if you want to geek out, you can watch this playlist up here. And I'll drop the link for this. I think it's called happydancing.com. I'll drop the link for this thing. It's a cool thing. We keep it around the studio. We haven't come up with too many things to do with this thing yet, other than tying it to the doorknob and practicing some stuff. But it's kind of a cool thing if you're a West Coast swing dancer, so I'll drop the link for that. But go ahead and geek out on the anchor step, and we'll see you again in the next video.